Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Potted Plant Entertainment. My name is Chris, and in case you don't know, I forgot to turn on the light. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Potted Plant Entertainment. My name is Chris, and in case you don't know, I review movies and I rank them on a scale of 0 to 100 in increments of 5. Today, we are here to wrap up the Nicolas Cage Holy Trilogy with Con Air. Con Air is a great movie. I would say it's the weakest of the trilogy. The Rock, Face Off, and Con Air. Although Face Off came out, or Con Air, sorry, came out right before Face Off did. But I would say this one is the weakest of the trilogy, and I think most people would agree it is. But that's not to discredit it. It is a really good movie. So let's talk about why. So Con Air came out in 1997, and it stars a lot of people, and it's a really stellar cast. We got Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, who, by the way, apparently hated this movie, which is, whatever, dude, you're really good in it, and it's really awesome, but whatever. John Malkovich, Cole Meany, Mykelti Williamson, Nick Chinlund, Renoli Santiago, Ving Rhames, Dave Chappelle, Steve Buscemi, Danny Trejo, MC Gainey, and Rachel T. Coten. Yeah. It was directed by Simon West and was produced by Peter Bogart, Jonathan Hensley, Jim Koff, Lynn Koff, and Chad Oman. And this movie tells the story of a man who accidentally kills someone in a bar fight after he's in the military, and he accidentally kills someone in a bar fight, and he gets sentenced to 8 years in prison. Well, he got his wife pregnant right before he went in, and so he doesn't want to meet his daughter in prison, so he waits until he gets out of prison to try and meet her. They're putting him on a plane with all these dangerous criminals to transport them, even though he's getting released, but he's on the plane with a bunch of criminals, which doesn't make sense, but whatever. And they're transporting them, but these criminals have a plan to take over the plane, and they do, and then we get Die Hard on a plane with Nicolas Cage there to try and thwart the plot. There is a lot that's unrealistic when it comes to this movie, when it comes to these plane prisoner transports. I know that, like, they had to make the security less good than it is in real life in order for the plot to happen, which makes sense. It's fine. Like, it had to happen, right? I mean, Nicolas Cage, a guy getting released, would never be put on one of these planes, but it had to happen in order for the movie to happen, so I understand it. There are some liberties they had to take in order for the movie to even exist, but it is a really good movie. It's not perfect, and we will get into those cons. And like I said, it is the worst of this unofficial trilogy, but it's still a really good movie. So, for one thing, it is quotable. I said this in my Face Off review. I'll say it again. Anybody who watches my channel knows I love quotable movies, and we unfortunately do not get enough quotable movies today. But I'm going to read you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of my favorite Con Air quotes. Put the bunny back in the box. Don't treat women like that. I'm gonna show you that God does exist. Cyrus, this is your barbecue, man, and it tastes good. Make a move and the bunny... Wait a minute. Make a move and the bunny gets it. What's that? That's a rock. Sayonara. Okay, alright. Alright, so this is my favorite Con Air quotes. This movie is a very quotable movie, and they are really fun quotes. They are fun quotes to use. I love quotable movies. I love it, like, when a movie is... the dialogue is so good that you talk about the dialogue later on. It's just that really helps amplify a film for me. So let's get into my other pros. The build-up is great. And this movie does a really good job at building up the suspense to what you inevitably know is going to happen. When you watch Air Force One, whenever I watch that movie, I get like this feeling in the pit of my stomach before like the terrorists take over the plane. Like I know what's going to happen, and it's awful. This movie doesn't exactly give me that, but it does do a really good job at still building up that suspense to what you know is inevitably going to happen. The action is great. This movie has great action set pieces. I love the fire truck chase at the end of the movie, which, by the way, we are getting into spoilers. Just just so you know. But I love the fire truck chase at the end of the film. I love the whole shootout at the in the desert after they landed the plane. I love it when Nicolas Cage is finding one of the convicts below deck on the plane. It's just, there's some really, really great action. It's great explosions. It's just, it's awesome. It's so much fun. It's perfectly casted. John Malkovich especially. Holy crap. He is really, really good in this movie. I mean, he owns this role of Cyrus the Virus. This is one bad dude, and he conveys that so well. I mean, talk about perfect casting. He is amazing in this movie. This is a really, really great villain. One of my all-time favorite movie villains. He nails it. He's so good. It's such a good villain, and John Malkovich is perfect as Cyrus the Virus. Of course, Nicolas Cage is great, and everybody's great in this movie. But John Malkovich, for me, is really the standout of this film. The characters are really great. Each of them is unique in their own way. All the inmates are very different from each other in their own way. It reminds me very much of The Walking Dead. I love how The Walking Dead always had... Each character is unique. Each character they're nothing like each other. Each character is like a completely different person and completely unique in their own special way. And they do that same thing here with Con Air beautifully. Each character feels so unique. And you just never seen a character like them in a movie. And you never will, because they're all so unique in their own way. I like how this movie really makes you care about Nicolas Cage. All he wants to do is just get to his wife and meet his daughter for the first time. I mean, it's just, and you feel bad that he's sucked into this situation that nobody would ever want to be in. But he's a good man, and he understands he's got to play John McClane here, and he's got to save the day. The music is really good too. One of the things I love about 90s action movies is how good the soundtracks were. I forgot to mention in my Armageddon review how much I like the music in that movie, but the music in this movie is really good too, and you kind of miss that from action movies nowadays. You don't really get that great soundtrack like 90s action movies used, 90s and even 80s action movies used to have. It's just you don't get it anymore, you know, and it's kind of disappointing. You don't even really get like original action movies like this much unless it's like really terrible or it's Fast and Furious. So there's also a lot of practical effects in this, and they look great. I mean, it's just the practical effects always work better than CGI. It's just, I love the real explosions, the real planes. It's all real. They actually took a plane and crashed it into a casino because they were going to demolish that casino anyways, and they came and asked them, like, hey, can we crash a plane into this for our movie since you guys are just going to demolish it? And they were like, sure. So that's how we got that, and it's all the more better for it. Cage's long hair is kind of weird. He's got that really long hair that hangs down like this, but it's kind of weird, but it adds to the charm of the film. Have you need more evidence that this movie is like Die Hard? He's even wearing a wife beater just like John McClane was in Die Hard. And the pacing is really good. This is a really, really excellently paced film. It doesn't let off the gas. It's so much fun. Alright, now let's get into my cons, because like I said, this is not a perfect film. I don't really get why Cage needs a southern accent. He's like from like Alabama or Louisiana or somewhere down south, and he's got this southern accent, and I like it. It adds to the charm, just like the hair, but I don't feel like it's really necessary. There's also, this movie has the same problem that I was talking about with Face Off, how like just because two vehicles crash, they explode. I don't like that. Let's see. Lots of this is not how things would work in real life, and it doesn't really make much sense. Like, Cyrus plants a bomb in his cell, but it's like, where in the world did you get the stuff to build a bomb in a federal penitentiary? Like, I also wish that Steve Buscemi had more to do, because he's really creepy in this movie. I love the scene where he's talking to the little girl, like, in the empty swimming pool, and they're having, like, a tea party, and they're singing. He's got the whole world in his hands. I love that scene. I love Steve Buscemi in this movie, but, man, I wish I wish there was a scene in this movie where Steve Buscemi just completely went off. Like, that would have been great. Also, when Cyrus dies, so, like, he gets thrown through, like, the overpass, like walking bridge, and then like it seems like he like teleports to like this construction site, which is really weird. And then I think it would have been nice if Nicolas Cage and John Travolta had a longer fight on top of the fire truck at the end of the movie. I always wish that there was more punches and kicks thrown than what there was. It was kind of brief, and I wish that it was longer. Like I said, not a perfect film, but it's really, really great. If you've never seen Con Air, I just spoiled a lot of it for you, but it's a really fun time. I love Con Air, and I'm going to give it an 85. All right, I will be back very soon with tons more content. I got so many reviews coming. I've been grinding YouTube, and I'm going to keep grinding it. Pause. But yeah, so I got a lot more content coming at. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to Party Player Entertainment for more. Hit the like button. Leave me review suggestions down in the comments down below. Follow me on Instagram at Party Player Entertainment for channel updates and now TikTok. And much love.